Hey friends, welcome to Vinyl Jansen. I'm Kasper. For at least the last year time-ish, it has been quite popular with, synth music, that new retro wave music. And there has been some okay bands. There has been a lot of shitty bands, if you ask me, and there's been some great bands, really great bands. Today I am taking a look at Orax, Cometa. It's a record that has been released also on NRW Records, New Retro Wave Records, if you can see. Yeah. It's from 2017. It's called, Cometa, as you can see. And you can see inside we have a nice pink vinyl. As far as I know, it's out of stock now, but I know that he is working on a repress. But should you get it? Let's find out. Overall, I can say about this album that it is smooth and jazzy in some point, smooth and jazzy, and it has a lot of great trance vibes, which reminds me about the early 2000s. There are some piano plays on it, and it's generally very beautiful and mixes well together. And during listening to this, I get some very mixed moods. Not negative, but I get some very various. I think it's the right word. Various feelings. And if we should go through, he manages to bring a lot of emotions to you. And if we should take the tracks one by one, we have the first called Broken, which is it got me. It's quite sad actually. Through the synth waves, he manages, or Orax manages to create a feeling of a lost love and a kind of sad feeling. Like you're feeling sorry for this guy or this gal who's lost a love. Then we come to the number Girls, the track Girls, which also has a very dark feeling to it. It's like watching girls on the streets, like poor souls struggling to stay alive, or maybe it's already too late. Maybe they already are lost girls. It's quite dark actually. I love it. I must say it's really well done, beautifully done. Then we have the track Stay, which is more like a mourning somehow. Like a loved one begging another love to stay. Please stay. It's also quite emotionally strong, I think. Then we got the Root of Love, which is like that brought out the feeling for me like a warm summer night where you can cruise the city or the street, cruise the streets with the roof down and just enjoy the fresh breath and fresh air. And it's a very warm, very cruising track, if I may say so. Like, well, yeah, you're cruising the city on a hot summer night. It's fantastic. And then we have Empty. It's like that track sort of gave me the feeling of an angry lonesome rider, because it's very you know, it's a bit more aggressive. That track is a bit more aggressive, and it feels like a lonesome rider going on. Well, not a rampage, but it's like he's very furious. He's very mad, and that's quite beautifully catched, I must say. Then we have Red Sun, and then and that is like, with the synth waves and the electronic sounds, Orax manages to bring the feeling of a sunrise in the horizon. You know, beautiful sunrise, and that's marvelous. It really feels it feels good, but and also give me the feeling of being alone, but enjoying that beautiful sunrise. And speaking of alone, then we have the track called Alone, and that track starts with a cracking thunder, and it's like, it gives me also the feeling of one running into the night all alone, and a very strong track as well. And then we have the Emission, and that was like, well, being on a mission, a sort of a Mission Impossible mission, you know, like lurking, ding, 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 ding. Well, and not that sound. It's not what that sound, but it feels like an agent being on a mission. Well, yeah, obviously. Then we have Freedom, and that's an up-tempo track. It's like running wild, like freedom. You can feel, I'm free, and this is what freedom sounds like. It's great. It really is. And then the album ends with the track Cold, called Cold. And even though it has a little curious beginning, it has a feeling of, it's the sound of frost, electronic frost, and that's it catches the feeling of frost and ice and cold really beautifully. So that was the track of Orax Cometa. What do I think of it? I think this album is a joy. It really is. It has a big variety. It's not like that you can say all tracks is about, well, what do you say? That there is a, like a concept feeling to it. It all, generally, the feeling of it is very dark. It is darker, but it's not, like pitch black dark. It's more like, what can you say, music from Red Light District. And I've tried to think of other artists to compare with, and I came up with, well, not Alice DJ, but maybe some of her sound without the vocals, and especially I came to think of, I think he's called Mythos, or the DJ Cosmos. He was from the beginning of the 2000s, of the millennium, it's called. But still, Orax manages to keep his own style, to be his own, and these beautifully trance vibes brings me back in time to the beginning of the millennium, and like I said in the beginning, smooth, jazzy, a big variety. And if you're looking for a solid electronic dark synth new retro wave album, I highly recommend Orax Cometa. I know that he's also available with he also has another album available called Deeper. Well, just FYI. But for now, Orax Cometa, two big thumbs up. I only have, one big thumb and then another. So I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. And you can also find me on Instagram called Vinyl Jansen. So until next time, take care of yourself and each other and play some awesome records.